You know you want to email your list more, and you know that it would help your business, but every time you sit down to send an email, it feels like work. What if I told you I email my list every day and it never feels stressful or spammy? In this video, I'll show you exactly how that works and how it helps me consistently have 30 to 50K months. Now let's start with the main reason that email feels hard. It's an F word, but it's not frequency. Most business owners, they struggle with friction. I get it. The blank page problem is real. That blinking cursor is a devil. And if every email you send feels like a whole brand new invention from the ground up, it burns you out. But if you have a system that solves the friction, then the frequency part becomes really easy. When people hear that I send a daily email, they always say how exhausted I must be. But I gotta be honest, with the system that does most of the heavy lifting, sending a daily email is one of the easiest parts of my day. When every email that you have to send, it feels easier and lighter than the one before it, then the frequency never becomes an issue. When each email you send is faster and easier to write, you can easily send more. So how do I make writing emails so easy? Number one, start with automation, but only in the parts that make writing easier. For example, whenever somebody joins your email list and they go through a welcome series and you have to deliver your lead magnet, that part should be automatic. That should be zero friction. Set it up once and never think about it again. Every new subscriber that comes into my email system, I deliver the lead magnet they just requested. I check and see if they're new here, and if they are new, I send them to my welcome series. If they're not new here, then they go into my daily email bucket. It's a sequence I set up long ago, and I haven't thought about it in a while. In fact, it's probably a good time to revisit it and make sure it's still the most current thing. But it's a set it and forget it strategy that's a big piece of my email automation system. And here's a cool insight. The welcome series isn't something that you're doing just to be polite, like welcoming somebody to your home and showing them around. Yes, it does do that, but it's a one-time task that when you do it right, it reframes the reader's problem and presents you and your system as the logical solution. And by the way, if you want to see what my welcome series looks like, just click the link in the description and get my Silver Platter Welcome Series template that'll get you up and running in minutes. After your welcome series is done, your new subscribers are primed and ready for what's next. And it all took no extra effort from you to make them feel that way. But how do you stay consistent without scheduling all your emails or batching all your emails? Well, for me, here's the part that surprises people. I write my emails live every day. Yes, daily. And I haven't missed a day since January 1st, 2022, and I have no intention of stopping anytime soon. The secret is in storytelling. I'm not trying to sound like the smartest person in the room with my emails. I'm connecting consistently through simple stories that happen in my everyday life. And when you use a story as the format for your emails, your email writing becomes about a 15-minute daily habit. My story-based emails have a few simple pieces of the framework. Number one, I share a story that's the most remarkable part of my day from the last 24 hours. Number two, I share the lesson that I learned through that story, and then how the reader can apply that to their life. It's a really simple process, and that simplicity allows me to be consistent and to make that real connection every day in the inbox with my reader. And if you're stuck on story ideas, I put together 202 of my top story ideas from the thousands of emails I sent, and you can get that checklist in the description. As your email list grows, you start to have a lot of leverage because it doesn't take any longer to send an email to 5 people than it takes to send to 5,000 people. So the same amount of effort you put in all of a sudden has much more reach and impact. And now with this story-based approach, you'll write better emails faster without overthinking it. Consistency isn't about planning more. It's about finding that frictionless rhythm. And I know what you're thinking, but what about the sales part? Does this gentle approach actually convert? Well, yeah. Your selling approach and style doesn't need to be loud or flashy. People don't like that. It turns them off. But the quiet consistency of sending a daily story-based email builds trust. So when the sales campaign shows up, they're engaged and primed and ready to buy. The way I do it is once a month, I send a clear sales campaign with a clear goal. And to me, that just means there's a start date of the campaign, an end date of the campaign, and an objective that I hope the campaign accomplishes. That's the rhythm that I'm in right now. So I build my email list consistently. I keep the people engaged with stories in between promotions. And then about once a month, I run a specific campaign with a defined outcome. So for example, that could be something like List Builder Land, which was a free 5-day event that I hosted that enrolled people into my membership, which is called Email School. It could be a workshop that I've hosted. Like recently I hosted a workshop called the Welcome Series Workshop, where I help people write their own welcome series, and I gave them a fun custom GPT that they could use that would do a lot of the work for them. And that enrolled people into my email membership. I've even done a promotional planning workshop that enrolled people into my higher ticket coaching program. So once a month, I pick a promotion and I support it with a sales campaign in my emails. You're not overwhelming your audience, you're activating them. It's kind of like when the dog is resting peacefully on the couch and then the Amazon person rings the doorbell and the dog jumps up. Running a campaign to your list activates them and gets them ready to take action. If you just send awesome story-based emails, over time you lull your audience to sleep and they're not used to taking action. They're just used to reading your stories and following along. We want to be able to do both. Keep them engaged with their simple stories and then have a call to action with some frequency that puts them in that active buyer state. Want to see the exact cadence I use in my email marketing? I put a link to join my list in the description. And of course, you can unsubscribe at any time if the emails are no longer useful. Now listen, I don't email my list daily because I hustle. I email daily because it's the easiest way to connect and convert. And this rhythm of engage, activate, and convert is what keeps the whole system working. It's sustainable, it's scalable, and most importantly, it's repeatable. And now, even if you're not ready to start emailing your list daily, I have a simple challenge for you. Start sending stories in your emails and let me know how it goes. And if you need my help with story ideas, make sure you grab my 202 story ideas in the description. And if you want my help with a welcome series, there's a template for that in the description as well. So click below to add those to your resource library, and I'll see you in the next video.